Hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here. It is Tuesday, July 7th. Thank you, Dustin.
You're welcome.
Hey, we had a great week. We had a fun 4th of July. Somewhat. I mean, as fun as we could have with coronavirus. But it was cool. I think everyone decided just to blow up fireworks in their own yard. It sounded like a freaking war zone all over. And all over the United States it was like that.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was talking about how their neighborhoods just are turning into war zones.
Have you seen the video
of Los Angeles? Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
the video of Los Angeles, just fireworks going off everywhere. It was insane. But we all survived it, and I don't think there was any tremendously bad fires that I've heard. But I just got back from the doctor. Good clean bill of health. I told her I'm losing weight. I've lost 15 so far, 10 so far, 11 so far, and she was all happy about that. And also, I want to let you guys know that the July 4th sale is extended. So here we are on Tuesday, and we're still doing the July 4th sale. So if you check out, if you go to creatureartteacher.com and decide to purchase some awesome tutorials for very cheap, you're going to get another 25% off if you put in the promo code July4. That's JULY number 4. And you will get, and it's not cap sensitive, so you can make it big letters or little letters. So there you go. And hey, guess what? You know who I've got with me working today? I've got my son, Dustin Blaise.
Hey, how you doing?
Dustin made me aware, painfully aware, that I guess I've been forgetting to let everybody know that he's with me over the last, I don't know, 5 episodes or so, including Nick. We've got Nick in Sarasota as well, and he's going to be fielding questions like he always does and keeps everything running smoothly. But yeah, and Dustin's on his brand new awesome computer.
Oh yeah, this thing's a monster. Let me see if I can.
Let's just turn the camera. Do this.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this. I'm going to play cameraman.
Yay! So got myself a new laptop to use for work, and it's a Razer Blade 15 advanced model, and I got it custom made at HID Evolution, so it's got more RAM and internal storage than the standard one. So, and it's got 4K OLED, just super sharp,
Yes,
super beautiful. So
super beautiful,
and it allows me to work on the go, and I love it. Hi.
There.
Hello there.
So that was cool. And so Nick and I are involved in this project with some friends of ours called Spread the Love. If you guys are familiar with the videos that were going around on the internet during quarantine, where like some of the actresses and stunt women were doing punching, and they'd act like they got punched into the frame, and then they'd roll around, and then they'd punch the next person, and no one cares. Look at
Oh
SpongeBob.
my God!
He's
No
talking
one
about your computer.
Oh yeah.
No one cares. But anyway, so if you're familiar with those videos or the makeup videos where the makeup brush would drop in and somebody puts makeup on and all of a sudden they're pretty and then they drop the, all that kind of thing. Well, some friends of ours, we all got together. It started by, I can't remember. I'm sorry, but anyway. Started by a group of people that thought it would be fun to, and I apologize, I can't remember everyone's name. I should have knew. I came rushing in here from the doctor's office and I didn't get prepped. But they thought it'd be fun to do it with animation, and so we're doing. There's a bunch of us that are doing a little string of animation in the same vein called Spread the Love, and it's meant to support Black Lives Matter and just generally spread love around all over the place. And so I've got a little piece of that I'm working on that I have to have done, or at least blocked out by the 11th. And so as of yesterday morning, I didn't have any of it done other than my beat boards. And so I worked on it yesterday afternoon. But I wanted to show you the beat board. So it starts out, the bit before me ends with this heart, this heart in the frame. And in my mind, we can just pull out really fast, zip out, and there's the heart up in the air, and there's these 2 bears, a polar bear and a grizzly bear looking at the heart. And they stand up and to get a closer look, and they're like, and then they kind of get this big look on their face, and they come back and boof, they hug each other. Everything's great. The heart bursts into a whole bunch of tiny little hearts, and then they come back and everything's great, and they look at the camera. They're going to look at the camera, and we pull out from there, and that's the end of the bit. They're only 4 to 7 seconds long. They have to be very quick. So that being that, I started animating yesterday the polar bear. I've got little sketches. You know, I'm basically doing everything that was done. I'm placing everything the same as the beat boards. And so what you'll see is, let me turn off the beat boards. What I got so far is, hold on, there we go. So it's looking at it, and then stands up and comes in close to get a closer look. This is what both of them will do. And then it's, yay, we got to do a take in here before we get to here, and then it's the hug. There's the, we got to turn off this heart, there we go. There's the hug with the brown bear, that grizzly, and then they come back from each other, and then they're going to look at camera. So that's what I've got so far. So what we're going to do today is just continue the animation of the polar bear. So this is just all posed out. If I play this up to here, you'll get a little sense of some of the timing. Very simple. Just comes up and just looks at the heart, and then we're going to do a take. We're going to slow in. I got to add some drawings into here at slow in, so we get a little bit of time, but I wanted him to push up. There's a little anticipation going back, pushing up, and then walking towards that little heart. Very simple. Very, very simple.
To the viewers that are watching, what kind of software is this?
This is TVPaint software. TVPaint.
Three.
Real quick question about the Birds of Prey course. Is the course going to include a snowy owl?
It will not.
Because we had the barn owl and
we have the barn owl and the great horned owl. I'm already up to what, 16 different birds, 15 different birds.
15, yeah.
Yeah, it will not. I might do one down the road. I might just do a course on each individual group down the road too, because one of the things I discovered in creating this Birds of Prey course is that Birds of Prey is too big. It's too big.
Too big of a.
Yeah, you've got owls, hawks, eagles, falcons, harriers, vultures. It's just a huge list, and I want to represent one from each group, and that, even just doing that's 10, and I'm trying to do anatomy for all of them, and it's just turned into a big unwieldy project.
Yeah, we did like two of each, of like falcons, hawks, owls.
Yeah.
And then within those, we did 3 different videos of different angles of heads.
Yep.
Heads alone.
You are correct, sir.
So it's going to be a very, very, very large packet, but
yeah,
really a very thorough.
Thorough.
I would love to participate in this, talking about the animation. Could we do something as a community?
Right now, this is a closed one. It was by invitation. I'm sure we can do something down the road. I think that's a great idea. The problem with it is the coordination. Someone has to figure out the music. You got to figure out the order of everything, and you got to keep everyone on task to get it done. And so therefore it tends to get a little bit unwieldy, and so they kept it down to a fairly small number of people, but I agree with you. It would be great if other people could join, and it's a really great thank you. I got coffee. Vedanta just brought in coffee and chocolate milk and donuts. No donuts for me. I'm on a diet. What's that?
Hello, world.
Hello.
Hello, world.
freaking love Duncan. You kidding me?
I'm the mayor of Duncan.
I love Duncan.
Do you use onion skinning for that? Yes, I'm doing onion skinning right now, as you'll see. You can see the green is the drawing before, the violet is the drawing after.
Do you expect to complete the new Birds of Prey course this year?
Yes, I'm hoping to finish it within the month.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got a lot on my plate. Nick has a lot on his plate. We just got done filming a course for ZBrush with my good friend Tony Cipriano.
Oh yeah.
So we got that going. Plus we got another one from Tim Hodge that is in the process of getting edited. We got one for my brother Travis Blaise that's in the process of getting edited. We are, if there is a business that could be overextended, that would be us, but in a really good way, because we've got so much content coming to you guys in the next month or so.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big month. Don't you agree?
Yeah, or at least 6 weeks.
It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge.
Got a lot of great friends. They're bringing out new courses.
Actually, yeah, but don't use him. Don't impersonate him, because we really do. Ours aren't BS.
When the bear hugs, I see there was negative space for the other bear. Is that easier than drawing the second bear on the same frame?
Yes.
Is this what is done in larger scale productions?
Yes. That's exactly how we do it. That's why I'm doing it this way, because that's how I've always done it. So I keep the other bear on another level. That way that bear will always have its own timing. Even if the timing matches this one, it'll still have its own level, so that I can adjust that timing down the road if I want to. Good. That was a good question.
Off Dustin goes, yeah, with my impersonations. Is there a good animation program for iPad?
Yeah, Calipeg is one that's out right now that my brother Travis is we filmed an entire course on how to use it. Oh my God, that's hot!
I mean, it's coffee.
Burn my tongue.
What do you expect? It's coffee.
We have 4 courses coming out in the next 2 months from Nick. 4 courses.
4.
That's a lot. That's a new record for us.
Holy cannoli.
Yes, that's a new record for us.
Is that including the Birds of Prey course?
Yes. Yep. So we have Tony, Travis, Tim, and me.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Within the next 6 weeks?
I know, right?
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
How many more videos do you think we gotta do for the Birds of Prey? Is it just the bodies now, or is there also?
Yeah, it's just
animation?
bodies.
Just bodies.
Yeah.
Just a lot of bodies.
Wow. Whoops. Did I do that right? What's going on? Oh, it's on the front. I don't know how it changed layers.
I heard that in some parts of the world, people started hoarding toilet paper again. I wonder if they have already used up the 400 packages they bought in March.
True.
How is the situation in Florida?
Well, we got toilet paper. That's not a problem. Problem
That's
here
fine.
is that everyone refuses to wear masks, and they just keep partying like it's 1999, man. So people keep getting sick. I don't think I think the hospitals are taking on more now. Not as much as the number of new cases is just skyrocketing. It's just crazy. The hospitals are filling up, but not as bad as I don't think. I know there's hot spots where the hospitals are really getting slammed. I could be wrong, but no, I just got back from the doctor's office, man. They got me in and out, bing bam boom,
Done and done.
done and done.
Do you have any advice on painting dogs and cats fur with acrylics?
Yeah, you want to don't paint every hair. You want to paint the the shadows, the clumps, the parts that make up the big shapes. Do that. And then if you want to hit a couple of areas of detail, you can do it, but don't do it through the whole thing. You don't need to. So I know I'm going to get this question, so I'm going to go ahead and answer it. So because I get it every time. I'm animating kind of tight right now, and I do this for when I'm doing really simple action like this. I tend to animate tighter because I already see the movement in my head, and I don't have to get really loose with it, and it saves me time down the road of going really loose. This is going to be the finished line work. I'm not going to go back through and clean it up.
I thought that your usual question they get every time is, what's your favorite animal to draw?
I get that one. And you don't have to ask that every time either.
Ever worked with Toon Boom apps? If so, how was your experience with it?
I've never used Toon Boom. No, all I've ever used is TVPaint. I know a lot of people love Toon Boom, but I've just never used it. I've only used TVPaint.
Don't you prefer the contact moment to be in the same layer?
No. Nope. Keep them both on their separate layers always. There we go. So he steps back, looks at the heart. Let me do this. Boop. Nick says, I see way more people wearing masks now than a week ago. I completely agree. Yeah, there are a lot more people wearing masks. But I still go to the grocery store, and there's still I agree with you, Nick, there's still, a lot more people wearing masks at the grocery store, but there's still these die-hard idiots that just refuse. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, there are quite a lot of stores, too, that are starting to enforce, you having to wear a mask.
Oh yeah, well, no, it's the law now.
Yeah.
You have to wear a mask in the stores now. Which it should have been that way to begin with. I wanted to flatten that head out a little bit. Oop. Just highlight this section. So that's what we're up to so far.
Do you have any tips on how to set slow in and slow out more consistently?
Well, that's what I was just working on. It's basically halving and then halving that, then halving that, and halving that. You'll see he does a slow in right here. He slows into that. So you'll see he's moving kind of quickly, and then I've slowly gotten the drawings closer and closer together. And that's the slowing. You can see it happen with the paw. And then you also time it that way. See how I've spread the drawings out on the timing, on the timesheet, timeline. Sorry, it's not a timing sheet anymore. To emphasize the slowing. And so when I in between this to make it all nice and smooth, those drawings eventually will almost be on top of each other through here. All right, so let's move on to the next bit. So the next bit here is this, but I need the bear to do a take first. So I want to do that.
Oh,
Boop.
do we already have an animation course?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 3 courses. I've got my introduction to animation, then I've got my scene approach animation, and then I've got acting for animation.
And you even have someone was asking about that, including in Procreate, and in Procreate you even
Yeah,
there's one
I talk.
subject in there.
Yeah, but it's not really an animation course.
Right.
It's more about how to use Procreate to do animation. It's not.
Right.
If you want a course on animation on how to do that, then yeah, I've got specific stuff for that. So I want him to pop up. Let's turn on my heart. Oh, I turned on my heart. There we go. I'm going to straighten up. Just, it's going to be a little take.
Can your brushes be imported to Krita and Metabane?
That I don't know. Nick, can the brushes be imported to Krita? They can be imported to Procreate. Oh, that's right. Someone was just asking about our animation courses. I forgot to tell you. I don't know why I forgot. Our fundamentals course for animation it's free.
Oh my God! How could you forget that?
You know, right? So here, making his head a little bit big, I'm gonna have to shrink it down. See, I got his ears perking up a little bit. Get those ears to perk up. YouTube, what is the toughest character you animated? I'd say Beast. Beast was really tough. He was complicated to draw and he was really complex emotionally.
I'm gonna eat my donut now. A little hungry.
You enjoy your donut. Oh, you got chocolate sprinkles.
Mm-hmm.
You got a little chocolate frosted with sprinkles.
Yeah, it's so tasty. My little donut from Dunkin'. I love Dunkin'.
Any program that supports ABR files can import them. Okay, there you go. So if whatever software you're using supports ABR files, which are the files that Photoshop uses for their brushes, then you can import them. However, due to the different brush engines, they may perform differently from program to program. So we can't, you can probably import them into the software that you're using. We just can't guarantee that they're going to work the right way.
When designing a human character, do you use real life reference of humans?
Oh, of course. Yeah, for sure. I want to bring his arms up a little bit.
I was wondering if Procreate brushes can be used in Photoshop. Not Photoshop and Procreate, but
Well, once again, if it's an ABR brush, they can.
Will you, in between these slow-ins, timed down ones?
No, on 2s. No, I won't. I actually probably won't do anything in here on 1s. There's nothing that. There's no movement that really requires it.
Do you sometimes get lost in your animation thinking, geez, this character really seems alive. I love it. I have to pause a bit and just enjoy this.
No. That's funny.
Reese is probably just, let me just get through with this first.
There we go. So I want to make sure that size is a bit more consistent.
Dustin eating a happy little donut with sprinkles in a lift.
You know, it was 1 year ago. 1 year ago, we were at the castle.
Has it been 1 year?
1 year ago today, we were teaching our first class at the castle.
Oh yeah. Man, that's messing with my brain a little bit. Like, holy moly, it's already been a year.
Yep. So there we go. So he stands up.
You're working on 24 frames?
Yes. 24 frames per second.
Per second.
Red Robin.
Yum. Have you ever...
Hey Aaron, have you ever tried tweening? Or you've always stuck frame by frame animation? Never tried tweening. I always stick to the do it all by hand. That's the way the old masters did it. That's the way I'm going to do it.
That's the way it was done back in my day.
That's right. Back when I was just a young whippersnapper,
Back when I was your age.
we did all of our drawing barefoot in the snow, uphill, both ways.
When I was born here, and I was raised here, my God, I'm gonna die here. There ain't no whipple-snapping cracker cooker. It's gonna roll away. Now, who can argue with that?
Who can argue with that?
Have you ever thought about analyzing animation shots of your subscribers live?
We've talked about doing critiques like that. Yes, we just got to figure out how to do it.
Probably been asked this before, but can you do an animation in Photoshop in the future?
No, I can't stand animating in Photoshop. Photoshop is not made for animation. People ask me about that all the time. No, I hate animating in Photoshop.
It's like, can you... No.
It's terrible.
Don't do it. How many years have you been working in animation studio?
Well, I've been doing animation. I've been an animator for. Well, let's see. What is it now? I've been an animator for 31 years.
Were backgrounds in animations in the past painted traditionally, like Snow White?
Yeah, when I first started, that's how it was done.
It all depended on the movie, right? Wasn't some like watercolor, some was
Yeah,
oil?
some yeah. But you got to realize, up until the 50s and 60s, there was no acrylic. It was all
really?
oil. Yeah, acrylic didn't come out. Yeah, it was all oil or watercolor. Twitch question: if you could have any food right now, what would it be? Oh man, you know what? You're killing me. I was watching. I've pretty much gone pescatarian since I've started my diet. I'm only eating fish, not eating any other meat. And plus I love animals, but I got to tell you, as much as I love animals, I still get a craving for good beef. And I was watching on YouTube. It's framed at 60 frames a second, or even 120 maybe. It's one of those, and it was just, they were cooking, it was a Japanese steakhouse, and they were cooking this little cube of Wagyu beef. And just sizzling it, and you heard every sound, and it was 120 frames. Yeah, oh my god.
Oh, just that full.
It
full
was,
detail.
it was 13 minutes. And I sat there and I watched him cook a piece of beef for 13 minutes, just turning it over, putting a little salt on it.
You're just like, oh, why am I doing this?
Oh my god! And I'm sitting there eating a cucumber.
It was like SpongeBob.
That was my snack, eating a cucumber.
I don't need it.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh my god, have you had Beyond Burger?
Yes. Now the Beyond Burger just doesn't fit my diet. It's super high in fat and calories and salt. And my 52-year-old self, overweight, I'm really sensitive to salt. I've got high blood pressure, really high blood pressure. It's genetic though. I've had high blood pressure since I was 30. And my brother's been able to get off of it. Everybody in my family's on blood pressure medicine. My father, who weighs like $150, he weighs nothing. He's been on blood pressure medicine for years. It's just something my mother was on it. Just can't avoid it, unfortunately, because of my genetics. But I can at least get better control of it through weight control. I sit at my desk too much, and I love to eat, and that does not equate to a healthy body type.
Is TVPaint free, or do you have to pay monthly?
No, it's a one-time purchase. Here's his little take. Huh?
And when you do look up for TVPaint, there's a standard and a pro version. It's best to just get the standard, unless if you're going to make a studio.
Right, exactly.
Because you always said that the pro version is
basically for making a pipeline.
Right. And how much is the standard?
I can't remember, but it's not cheap. But if you're a student, there's a really good discount, and if you become a member on our website, we get like over 30% off.
That's a big difference.
Oh yeah, you can get 30% off. It's almost the discount that you get is almost the same amount as our membership, so it almost pays for itself. Alright, so here I want to extend that.
Looking for some advice about a website. I provide a service of drawing pet caricatures, but I also have my private work, which aren't pet related. Would you advise having two separate websites for this, or have it all on the same website?
You can do it all on the same website, just have different categories. That's my recommendation. What do you think, Nick? So he's doing a little... What? What is that?
What is that?
And then he's gonna be back.
What were your thoughts when Walt Disney came to you and told you that he was going to open a park?
He's gonna open a park.
He's going to open a park. And he's going to call it Disneyland.
That's original. You know, I think we can take a little time out of here. Let's shave this down to 4. Shave this one down to 10. I want to keep this as tight as possible. I don't think he needs to look at the heart. That might be a little.
Your IMDb profile pictures is an old one, a ponytail, and you look incredibly young.
Screw you. Well, I was incredibly young, where I was at least 15 years younger, and I was 75 pounds thinner.
Forever young.
I mean, I think it was more than. I think I was 180 pounds in that photo, and I am now 255 pounds. 255 in that photo, 180. So yeah, there's a difference.
Man.
But my goal on this diet that I'm on, I'm hoping to get 200 by February, by my birthday. So I got 55 pounds to go. I've dropped, what have I dropped? I've dropped 13 pounds.
13?
Yeah, I've dropped 13 pounds in the last 4 weeks. So that's not too bad. All right, so let's get on to the next bit right there. Okay, so I want to just do a little bit of, I guess I technically don't, for blocking, I don't need to have that in there. But I do want an in-between in here.
Charge!
Oops. You dummy. You big dummy. You big dummy.
My comment is a little late. Like Internet Explorer. But grow your own cucumber. You'll appreciate them that much more.
Nah.
No.
We are growing stuff outside. We're growing tomatoes and
Tomatoes. Potatoes.
we've been growing a lot of fruit trees too. So you got to come forward.
How do you avoid erasing or struggling all the time and just keep going with it to get the proportions right?
Well, I've been doing it a long time.
Well, it's called practice.
Got to come forward before you can go backwards. Actually, I'm going to bring them up a little bit. Lots of practice, eh?
Watch and watch. A practice.
So I'm just bringing them forward. Before I bring them back, a little anticipation. 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 It's making me wait. It's making me wait. All right, here we go. So he's bringing that foot up.
How many key poses does this have so far?
7. Really, key poses? There's only a few. Yeah, 7.
7. And the people who just joined, this is TVPaint, and he's animating one of the 2 hugging bears for a project that is going to be on in the future.
So this is our bear from Snow Bear.
Huh?
This is Glenn, our bear from Snow Bear.
Right. Talking about the growing fruit trees. Lucky you. Here in Quebec, we are limited regarding fruit trees.
You can grow apples in Quebec.
Seven? I thought it was 11.
11.
11. Open the doors, please.
It's not true.
It's not true.
I love that movie.
I need to watch the whole thing.
If
I
you
only
guys
watched,
haven't seen Eurovision, you gotta watch it. It's stupid, Will Ferrell, but I love it.
I only watched the second half.
It's not
because
true.
Austin and Chad were in the middle of watching it when I went to their house, and they're like, "Do you want to start from the beginning?" I'm like, no, just keep it playing. But I think it was right in the middle of the contest before they got onto Eurovision.
All right. All right. So we're getting them up. I gotta getting annoyed.
Why don't you switch to full screen?
Because it can't keep up at full screen, and I don't want to have to draw that big. I mean, I guess I could go like this.
And plus, going full screen, it does.
It slows down.
It slows down because we're also live streaming through the same computer, and so all like the way everything mixes together, it just has a hard time keeping everything in check. So everything starts to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Is this your personal project?
No. This is a project I'm doing with some friends.
Aaron, I just want to say thank you to you and the whole team. You have really motivated me. Motivated me.
You all right, Dustin?
Jesus, to get my poop together.
Right on.
and push for the career I want with art. Your courses are awesome, and I really appreciate your hard work to help people like myself. You rock, dude.
Thank you.
Carrie
I'm glad you're getting your
Bullimore.
poop together.
Poop?
You gotta get that poop together.
You gotta get your poop together. You know, you gotta get that poop together. Pretty sure half our viewers are like, what is going on over there?
Fun fact, did you know that Walt got the idea for Disneyland from visiting Fairyland here in Oakland? No way. I thought it was just a place he wanted to play with his trains.
I like trains. Hey, Erica. When you get a chance, can you show us the timeline of what it looks like so far?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes, of course.
I give this a little shot there. A little shot there. There's the timeline. There's where we're up against. So he comes forward a little bit before he goes back. Little anticipation. Anticipation. Did you ever work with Bill Perkins? I sure did. I've worked with Bill Perkins on several projects. Bill is an awesome artist. What an incredible painter he is. He's art director on Aladdin. He was just incredible.
When you animate a character, how do you make the face appear the same in all of the frames?
Well, you got to draw it the same in all of the frames. That's how you do it. There's no other way around it. So, you just got to get in there and do it. So here I'm going to have him arc back a little bit. I'm going to have him drop down as he steps back. I'm going to have that foot planted here by the time he's halfway back.
Oh, Fairyland still exists. Ooh. Well, need to check that out sometime.
Yeah.
I
love
love
lead in this. I'm sorry, it doesn't go ahead.
I laughed till I cried watching Eurovision. There's something about Will Ferrell that makes me laugh the second he appears on screen.
It was actually kind of emotional too. As cheap as that, they're as cheap as their emotional hits were, because I mean, it's all formula, but it was done really well. And I like how seriously they took the music.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure when they made the deal with Eurovision to do it, that was part of the prerequisite. It was like, you can't make, you can make fun of it to a certain degree, but don't make fun of us. That's how I bet it kind of went.
Yeah.
Any advice on consistency and drawing from frame to frame? Yes. For me, it's thinking about shape. I think about shape, and I'm always thinking about size from one frame to the next. And, when I was a younger animator, I definitely had problems with things growing and shrinking, and I still do to a certain degree as far as over a long period of drawings. But by and large, I got in the habit of comparing them to, compare your first drawings with your latest drawings and things like that. And you'd be in good shape. Good shape. Man, I can't talk. And also, make sure your characters are built with simple shapes. This character seems a little complex, I know, but it's there's simple shapes underneath that I picture. Hey, Aaron, have you ever worked with Kelly Asbury? It's sad to know that he passed away recently. Yes, I've known Kelly for 30 years. Kelly was one of the first guys I met at Disney. He was the art director on Roller Coaster Rabbit, which was the first production I worked on. It was Kelly that actually, they would do character drawings as they were still boarding some of it and beating it out. And at the time, I was just a young 21-year-old that just started in the studio, and he really liked the way that I drew Rajah, and so Kelly used to come to me and have me do little drawings for him for some of their story beats. And he was always really complimentary to me. He was always very, very nice. And then also, when I was directing Romeo and Juliet, I ended up leaving the project for another project that I was doing, and it was Kelly that took over Romeo. Kelly directed Shrek 2, and then along in Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, or it's, yeah, that's what the name of it was, right, Dustin?
The what?
Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron.
I thought it was just Spirit.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Anyway, he directed that as well. But after he started, when he took over for Romeo and Juliet, he kept me on as part of the their little review group that would get together, and he'd screen the movie and we'd talk about story issues with it and that sort of thing. And
Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron.
Stallion of the Cimarron. That's what it was.
Cimarron.
So Kelly is a great guy. He was a great, great guy. Very well loved in the animation world.
Hey, Vanya. She says, "Good morning, morning, guys."
Hey, Vanya.
I'm going through all the Peckforton photos today to select some for reference. Your fart concert is great background music. Yeah, I love going through the those photos.
Yeah, so he's there. I'm going to break these down. I want to remind you guys that our 4th of July sale is still going on. So if you want to go over to the website, creatureartteacher.com, whatever you purchase, which is already, there's a bunch of stuff that's already on sale. We're doing a sale on top of a sale. My animation introduction is free. We've got, I think my how to paint light course is $1. So if you go over there, when you check out, if you do the promo code July 4, which is JULY number 4, you'll get another 25% off.
Would you recommend a graphic tablet with a screen, or a cheaper one without a screen?
With a screen. I'm always a big advocate for pen displays. They, to me, are much better. And I forgot to draw that paw. Where is it? That one right there. I missed that paw.
I missed the paw.
Your paw.
Papa. Papa.
I missed the paw.
Where's the paw? Hey, where's the cream filling?
Well, that was a commercial you used to love, wasn't it?
Oh, made me laugh every time. It was all like different Hostess snacks.
Where's the cream filling?
Yeah, it was always a different type of snack, whether it was like Ho-Ohs or what? I don't remember the names of all the other snacks. Like even Twinkies.
Yeah.
And it was always an animal that is like charging after it, and then something happens like, "Hey, where's the cream filling?"
I need a number 4 there. There we go. That take was too slow. Too slow.
Does knowing how many frames you need come with practice, or is there a general rule for how to?
It comes with practice. It really does. There's a fine line between you. First of all, you want to make sure you give yourself enough time to get your stuff done. But a lot of people will overpad their time, and really you want to be able to snap through stuff. So you want to have nice texture in your timing. You'll notice that he's starting to pick up his energy a little right in here, and then when he comes forward, I'm going to jump to that next. So he's right here now. We're going to give that one a big 24. A whole second to hold. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for gambling when the dealing's done. Charlie Daniels died yesterday.
Huh?
Charlie Daniels died yesterday.
No.
You probably don't know who Charlie Daniels is.
I've heard that name before.
Devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind. He was way
love that
behind.
song.
He was willing to make a deal.
I haven't heard that song in forever.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Dang it!
He said, "Boy, let me tell you what."
Well, let me tell you something. Is there any tips for learning the character acting, or just try to remake?
It's the tip
movie?
is really understanding your character. Don't think about how to move something. Just think about who the character is, and then don't think about the mechanics. Think about the spirit, the personality, and that'll come into it. I realized once I let go of the actual, like, well, how do I actually, how do I move this character? How do I, what are the, when you get away from the analytic issues of how to move something and just think about the spirit, who they are, the personality, all of a sudden it becomes more natural. And you don't worry about, the mechanics of it. Doggone it. I don't know why it keeps doing this. It keeps going to the other layer. And then it becomes much more natural. Oh, I know why, because I was drawing on the wrong layer. Anyway. This is drawn on the wrong layer. I gotta go back here, right there. Right there. And for some reason, let me get rid of that. There we go. Let me get rid of that. There we go. And let me come over here. There! Holy moly, that took a lot of work. I'm going to turn that hard off. Turn on your hard light. Alright. Let's put them right in the middle for now. Nick says Kenny Rogers died back on March 20th. With everything going on, that kind of just flew by. No, I know. I remember when he passed away. Charlie Daniels yesterday. Kenny Rogers.
Oh yeah, Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, I was singing The Gambler because in animation, you got to know when to hold them. You got to know your timing. You don't have to know when to fold them, but you do have to know when to walk away.
Have you ever worked in Spain?
No, I've never. Well, I did. Yeah, I take that back. Not animation-wise, really, but Nick and I went to Seville, Spain, last April. The year, was it April? Yeah, last April, and I taught some classes there. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table.
The latecomers, the software is TVPaint.
Counting. I'm enough for count. What's that? What?
I was saying that for the latecomers, there are a couple of people They were again asking what was software, what app this is that you're using.
Well, this here's TV Paint.
That's what I just said.
No, you said it was TV Paint.
That's what I just said. Same as yours.
No, this is TV Paint.
Same as yours.
Say what?
Same as yours. From the Who's On First.
Oh, yeah.
You throw the ball to who? How are you today?
I wonder if I should get, if I do, yeah, oh, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, here we go. See, you got to think about gravity. You got to think about balance and that sort of thing. And I want a nice impact with this hug. And so, if you look at where the feet are located, he's come back and he's got one foot in the back, one foot in the front. If he lifts the foot in the back, he doesn't have as much momentum because his center of gravity is back. And so he's got to push off. If he lifts the foot in the front, he's already got a center of gravity moving forward, and so he's going to get more of a fall. And that is what I want. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn him back a little bit like this, hold him back like this. Always think about your gravity. Think about your balance. You think about your physics. Because what I can do now is I can get that body to start falling forward and his head dragging and get this foot up in the air like so. Yeah.
Hi, Aaron.
Hold on. Don't
Sorry.
you talk to me yet. Don't you talk. Shut up. Shut up. You shutting up.
Shutting up, sure.
No, hold on just one second, because I want to get this. So you can see, and if you combine it with the drawings coming back, he's come back and he lifts that foot. I might even be able to get away with holding this back even more and tilting him back a little more. There we go. There we go. Okay, go ahead, Dustin.
Can I speak now, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going, eh?
How's it going, eh? When you export videos in Premiere Pro for YouTube, do you use the YouTube preset settings Premiere Pro has? Stay safe, guys.
No, I don't.
We use Vimeo presets.
Yeah, I do Vimeo presets.
Because if I recall, the Vimeo presets have are much sharper image quality than YouTube, right?
I think so.
I think that's the reason. Nick, is that why we do that?
Well, we stream on Vimeo.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not stream, but I mean, like, if someone wants to stream or download, it's on Vimeo. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So here I'm going to have that paw back. I want this big slap of a hug.
Ooh, Dustin, can you do Buford T. Justice and Junior from Smokey and the Bandit?
Boy, remind me to slap your mama when we get home. You don't know who that is, do you? Smokey and the Bandit.
I've heard so much of Smokey and the Bandit, but I just never watched it.
You've never seen it, have you?
I've never seen it, and I feel
Dustin,
so bad.
you would love it. You would. It
I
is
know
so
I
much
would.
It is so much your kind of movie.
I need to find that movie.
My name is Buford T. Justice.
Buford T. Justice. How close am I already?
Junior, remind me to slap your mama when we get home. You could not have come from my loins.
Well, you got it down good. Wait, I need to watch that movie. Now, when was that movie made?
Smokey and the Bandit was 78, 79, 77. I was a kid, man. I loved it. Sally Fields. Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, you can't
Hey
go
Aaron,
wrong
on
with
Brother Bear, what was your approach when having to break bad news to your crew, especially during crunch time, like cut a scene out or change a section of the story? It was never really bad news. I mean, because everyone's used to that process. So we would say, hey, such and such, and usually it was, when we would change something in the movie, it needed to be changed, and it was. A lot of times people were super supportive of it. And everybody knew there would be crunch time. So that was never a big surprise. Matter of fact, a lot of people a lot of people welcomed it because it was overtime, and that's how they got extra money coming up in the year. We all did really well. A lot of new homes were bought during those crunch periods.
Dustin, have you finally watched Star Wars 9? Yes, I have. That was a while ago. When are you announcing winners for the Wacom contest?
We're announcing them next on Friday.
This Friday?
Mm-hmm. So you still have time to get over, or do they? No, I think they had until the 7th.
Hey, Aaron. How did you guys animate dialogue back when there were no computers and you had to draw everything on paper?
The dialogue track is on the film track, and so the editor would go through. Or track reader would go through and slide that film back and forth, and they could hear where the dialogue was hitting on what frame. We would have exposure sheets that would indicate where the frames are, a lot like the timeline, except it was vertical. And so let's say we had all these columns like this. Okay? Lots and lots of columns, just like we have lots of columns here. And each one would be numbered. So here I'm going to number every other one. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and so on. You might have one that's 300 frames long. And then you'd have, let's say we'd have extra columns here. And we had this column here, and this was dialogue. Whoops, dig. Dial. Okay, so this is dialogue right here. And so they would say, okay, let's say a character is saying boom. He's just saying boom. He would say, okay, we slid it through, and we know that on frame 9 is the B. And he's going boom. And so we know that for 6 frames, he's going to go ooh. And so he'll go like this, and we'll go like that. And then on frame 17, he hits the M. All right? Like that. And so I listen to it, and then I see on my exposure sheet how it's written out. And there'd be whole conversations written out like this in the dialogue section. And so then when we'd animate, I would know that on frame 9, I need my character to have a B shape. Or I know on frame 11, I need it to have an O shape. And so on and so forth. And that's how we did dialogue. Oh. There we go. Redo this. There we go.
Do you know who Sergio
That's how we did
Pablo
dialogue
is?
in the old days. What's that?
Do you know who Sergio Pablo is?
Yes. Sergio Pablo directed Klaus.
Yeah.
I've known Sergio for a long time. For a very long time.
I don't know. I don't remember if I've met him yet.
I don't know.
'Cause I don't think I was there when you guys saw Sergio last time. Like the last CTN you guys went to.
I do not know,
I do not know.
my friend.
Have you seen Onward yet? What was your thoughts?
Onward.
I loved Onward.
Oh. See how he's going to really grab him right there? He comes back and... So we need where his arms are really dragging. I really want to break up this action. So watch. I'm gonna just take it through the entire action. The next little bit. When you have that foot in place. Whoops. Zip, zip. Zip. There we go. Have his foot right here.
What do you think of the move?
Did you save yet, Aaron? Yes, this is on auto save. This saves every I think 5 minutes.
Are you sure about that?
This I'm positive.
Just watch it it crashes and then all of a sudden you lose all of your data.
Why are you laughing at that? Why would you think that's funny?
Oh, just
You sick bastard.
I have a villainous mind. So have you seen Onward? Or would you? If so,
I thought it was. I liked it. I liked it. I wanted a little bit better payoff, but I liked it.
Brother Bear, when you brought the Cubs into the studio for quote unquote reference, did you actually need that, or did you guys just want to play with bear cubs?
Yes. Yes. Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
We did need it, and we wanted to play with bear cubs. So what I'm trying to do is work my way to getting this reverse in the paw.
You guys also call lip syncing scrubbing?
Well, no, scrubbing is when you go back and forth. That's scrubbing. You scrub back and forth. See how that hand is flipping back? Flip. Or flip.
Flip.
Or flip.
Flipper.
To flip.
The flip.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Yeah, we're reversing it back, making it almost impossible for a bear to do this. Well, pretty much impossible. But it's almost like if you watch a slow motion pitcher, baseball pitcher, and you go, whoa, I didn't know his arm was doing that. That's kind of what's happening here on the bear.
When animating a character just standing, did they draw over it several times in the same pose to keep it, quote unquote, alive?
Yeah, those are called tracebacks. Yep, and a moving hold. It's called a moving hold. So that, because you've always got a little bit of line jitter, and so when you go to a held drawing, it really stands out. And so in order to avoid that, when you avoid going to that standing out held drawing, we do what's called a moving hold.
Why do villains laugh?
I don't know. Why do birds?
I think it's just because they have that thought in that evil thought in their head, and I don't know why, but just evil thoughts in general sometimes can be, depending on what kind of evil.
Are you getting philosophical on evil thoughts?
No. No, but like my friend, like whenever my friends and I are playing games, like I'll bring out either like a certain vehicle or gun that nobody likes, and I just go, just start having that evil laughter. They're like, "Oh God, what are you doing?" I think it's just something like that.
Aaron, when you were at Disney, how much time did you spend on animating scenes like this versus concept, development, character design? I spent most of my time animating. We would spend a couple of months designing, and then the rest of my time was spent animating. I mainly was I did my animation. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Dustin. I thought you were going.
Clearly, these two bears are not social distancing.
No. This isn't a world. This is in the alternate reality of no COVID.
At some point, there should be a spoof version where there should be a third bear over in the corner, just pops on over. Just stay back there, bud. Whoa. Just break it up there, bud.
See that? So you get a nice big slappy hug. Gets up, comes back, and you can feel that by lifting that front foot instead of the back foot, that gravity feels more real. You can feel the weight pull him because he's lifting the right foot up. Actually, I think I can hold that a little less. Where is it? That one right there. I can put that on 4s, I think.
In Brother Bear, what character did you animate the most?
Well, I animated Tanana a little bit. I mean, most of the time I was directing, so I only animated a tiny little bit. But I animated Tanana and Kenai, Bear.
Have you ever done voice acting?
Not really. I would do scratch dialogue in our films, but nothing that made it into a film.
Yeah, I was pretty much on the same boat. Like I just did extra voices for Tembo.
So you can feel the impact. And that's what I want. I want that arm. I want him coming forward before the arms do. So that's why you can feel his arm is still going back as his body is coming forward, and that body coming forward gives that arm the energy to get that nice slappy hug. Boom. Gives that impact. And you want to get, there's lots of little subtleties in here that add to the animation that a lot of people will forget, and I don't, it's things that you don't want to forget. Sort of like here he's looking, and then he does his take, but then as we want him to go back, he's got to come forward. He's going to come forward, lift that foot, and then he's going to put the foot back. When I actually do the in-between, that foot will come back and the head will kind of stay in place before he comes back here and comes back. And then you want that lower part of the body to come forward first to get that momentum. Look at the momentum we're trying to get going. And then we get the slap. The slappity slap on the back.
The slappity slapper. The slammity slam.
So for those of you that have just joined, I want to remind you that we have our sale is still going on over at creatureartteacher.com, our 4th of July sale. And it's a biggie. It's a biggie.
It's a big one.
So we've already got a lot of stuff discounted, but you'll get a 25% off even that. So if you go over and you check stuff out, if you decide to buy some stuff, then and you put in the promo code July 4, that's JULY number 4, you're going to get an extra 25% off. So let me see my, next thing I want to do is I want to see my arc. So here I can see the number of, yeah, I don't need that one. So he's coming up, coming down a little bit. And so I'm going to have him just slide right into the shot, right into the pose. All right.
Do you always work on multiples of 2, or would you work on 3s, etc.?
I try to avoid 3s unless I know I'm going to be doing 1s anyway. I try to do 2s and keep everything odd numbers, just because it's easier to do that way.
What's your best tip towards traditional sketching?
Let me push this back. I'm going to push this even more. My best tip for traditional sketching?
Yes.
Just do it a lot. I'm not sure I understand the question. I mean, there's a lot I could say. There we go. Here I'm going to stretch everything.
What do you take into account when giving a name to a character?
Personality, does the name fit? You know how, like, most of your friends, everybody, the name that they have just really suits them? There's our little slap. See, adding that little wipe in there, let me put that in for an extra frame. Boom. 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 Schmack. Oh, schmack.
Schmack. Slam dunk.
So it's really just taking into account the personality, making sure that it fits, really. That's the biggest thing we can do.
Or are you using purples and greens for onion skins?
That's my preferred. They're opposite colors. It's reddish. It's meant to be reddish and green, which are opposite colors. So I can just tell the difference a lot easier.
That frame where he steps forward with his arms out looks like he's ice skating.
Yeah, but he just goes through it very quickly. Let's get this foot up in the air.
You should do a special sale for Manny. Everything for $100.
Is that Manny?
No, it's somebody else named Martin Berger.
$100.
$100 for everything.
Actually, I'm going to lift that foot even more. I think I can get away with it. Not much more.
Do you have any thoughts on set environmental design? I have the feel that this is a less demanded area and a good way to enter the industry. Is that actually how it is? Or
No.
does it depend?
There's as many set environmental designers as there are character designers, and it's tough. It's to be considered really good at it is that's a hard one. I'm not good at it, and I admire people that are. My friend Armand Serrano is really great. We're going to be getting him in to do a course for us on just that.
Oh yeah, I was just about to ask that. I was just about to say, hey, Are we doing a course on that in the future? I could have sworn we were.
Yeah. With Armand.
Armor. What was your first graphic tablet with a screen?
It was a Wacom Cintiq.
You remember the size? Was it
21.
21?
Yeah.
21.
What's the bear doing? It's hugging air.
It's hugging air, not another bear. He's hugging another bear. Now this is about where the other bear will start overlapping.
And technically, asking about the Wacom contest, we'll be announcing the first winner on Friday. Correct?
Yes. Brian on YouTube says, "Yay! One of my favorite artists is live. Just what I needed after a long 12-hour shift at the hospital. Holy moly! I'm glad you're back. Wow. My hat's off to you, Brian. That's amazing. You guys are killing it. Thank you."
Did they have Wacom in the 90s?
You know what? I don't know if Wacom was. It may have been.
I thought it was like early to mid 2000s.
I think they were around before that. There. So now you can really feel that hug. See, he comes back for that anticipation, and boom, big hug. Schlappity, schlappity.
Schlappity schlap.
So all the thing that makes weight and everything mechanics work is, if you remember, the little weight shifts, the little anticipations. Those are the things that really make things work. Like him before he stands up onto 2 feet when he's on all fours. Notice how he backs up a little bit and then bends down and bops up and comes forward. It's those little things that help with the animation, make it more believable.
Do you have a lot of discipline in your schedule, or are you just really chill but chill about it and improvise as you go?
We're pretty chill about it. I mean, we're disciplined in getting stuff done. We work every day, but you know, it's not like I'm at my desk at 7 a.m. I start working around 10, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Dustin gets here at 10, and we start working. Now we're pretty disciplined about what we're going to do for the day, and we just kind of chip at it and get it done. You know, it's just like the things like the Birds of Prey course. You know, that's just a big project.
Oh yeah.
That's just a big one that we've been working on. Okay, so here he is coming up, coming forward. Big hug. Boom. Let me, I want to do one more drawing in there, I think, just to get that back foot forward.
Just one more
I
thing.
don't necessarily need it for this, but I think one more. I want to show you guys what you can get away with a really good wipe.
Really good white.
Really good wipe.
This sounds so
I'm not talking about poop.
It sounds kind of poopy.
Let me show you what you can do with a really good wipe.
So this is what I want to show you something. This is really cool. Let me show you something.
Let me show you something.
Okay, so we've already established the path that paw is going to take. It kind of comes back and loops. See, it comes kind of loops around the arc. That paw on the left side of the screen. Now watch this. This is what you can get away with.
Any news on the details of the applications for scholarships?
Not quite yet. We will be announcing it in the next couple of weeks. This is basically the same as motion blur.
Are we there? Are we on the one more thing?
Oh no. See that swipe?
Sweet. Oh, I think somebody's a little late on the news of the scholarship. Because somebody was like,
Did you just drop
"Scholarship?"
one?
It was the chair.
Oh, okay. I thought Dustin let out a little squeaker.
Like that. Yeah, somebody, when I mentioned about the scholarship, somebody was like, scholarship?
Yes. So Nick and I announced a couple weeks ago, and we're not ready to make it official yet, but we want to let you know that starting this month, we're going to be giving out one scholarship a month for $5,000, and that scholarship will be good for use at college, online schooling, any number of things. And it's international. It's not just United States. It's something that we've been wanting to do ever since we started Creature Art Teacher. There we go. It's always been in our game plan. And so we finally got to a point where we can start doing it. And so we'll be making more announcements in the next couple of weeks. But we just wanted you guys to know that this is something that we're going to be doing. Sorry, my brain is...
It's in autopilot mode.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out the moving my little character in space here.
Lost in space, are you?
Lost in space.
Lost in space.
Matter of fact, most of this will be, I think, obscured by Das Bad.
And the equipment that you're currently using is, well, the app is TVPaint, and this is the 32-inch Wacom Cintiq Pro, and the computer is the... Let me see if I can get it down here. There we go.
Mac Pro.
Is the Mac Pro, also known as the cheese grater, including myself. I call it the cheese grater. Very powerful computer, and yeah.
For the person I was asking about when Wacom was founded, it was founded in 1983. And yes, it was around in the 90s. Nick reminded me that one of the original CEOs that we met with had some involvement with Beauty and the Beast, the ballroom sequence. Okay, so look at that. Look at this kind of wipey. Yeah, this is called a wipe. Or he's kind of, see that paw is just wiping across the screen. And so, I can't really, I can try to put it on for 2. It's not going to ultimately be on for 2. Because you'll definitely see it at 2 frames. So you're mainly meant to just feel it. And when he goes for that hug, you'll feel a nice slappy hug.
Slappity slap.
A little schmear.
Schmee.
There he goes. A little schmear.
Just kind of schmee.
And I just wanted to get that extra drawing in so we could feel that step come in a little better. See that his other foot come in? There, so we get that gravity coming together. Boom. And so when you get that other bear, when we get the other bear in there, the grizzly, we'll really get a nice sense of impact when they hit each other. When you draw a Shmee frame, does it usually stay for one frame? Yes. When I'm doing full animation, I usually only do it for one frame, but I lead into it and lead out of it 1 or 2 frames as well, so you can still feel it. So there we go. So there's their hug. And if I can time this out right, let me see something here. If I can time these out right here. What's going on?
What's going on here?
Okay, here I want to turn that on. Do this like this long. I'm just going to see if I can overlap with the beat so you can see the grizzly bear. It goes to there, let's say. And then this one will go to there. And then this one, oh, there we go. I want this to be here and here. And this one will go all the way to here. So if I turn this layer on, right there, I'm going to turn it down a little bit. These are just the beats, but you can at least see the placing of the brown bear when I play this. Boom, then they hug. And let's hold this. I want to hold this a little bit longer.
Do you always do stretched and deformed frames in ones?
Say that again, Dustin.
Do you always do stretched and deformed frames? Do you always do stretched and deformed frames on ones?
Yes, I always do stretched and deformed frames on ones.
Stretched and deformed frames?
There, so now you can see how that posing is going to work. The timing. Let me. I can turn that up just a touch, so you can see it a little better. So there's our polar bear coming back, and then the big hug on the brown bear. So we're getting there. I just want to work before we end the stream today. I want to get into that last pose. So this is how I usually do my animation. When I thumbnail it out, or I work out my timing, or I work out my blocking, I try to get my thumbnails pretty much where I want everything to be, so I can place those thumbnails right on the timeline, and you can see I hit those poses. I hit every single one of them. So I like my thumbnails to be pretty accurate when I work them out.
You really draw it like the bear has weight. What sorcery?
Well, I'm a big fat guy, so I can feel the weight.
I can feel my own
So,
weight.
but once again, I wanted to show you some of the fun you can have with those, with the stretch frames, with that little slappy hug. And I'm going to do the same thing with the brown bear. Oh my gosh, there's a yawn there.
Oh no, not a yawn, anything but a yawn.
So once again, this is called spreading the love. So these two are, you're going to see that little heart and go, schmack.
Spreading the love.
Oh, what's going on? All right, let's see.
What's going on? Can you recommend some good character design books?
No, I don't know of good character design books, and I should, but I don't. We had this question last week, and I don't. I want to show you one other thing that might go unnoticed on here, but when you get it in between, you will. And that's the overlap and the perkiness, according to mood, of the ear. You can get a lot of mood with the ears on a character. You know, here the ears are laid back, and we got a little overlap, but then they perk up. See the overlap right there, and then boop, they perk up, and then perk up again when he comes back. And those little touches, those are little things that will add to the mood of your animation. So I'm just going to throw in a little bit of, that should be 24 frames. It should be 24 frames here. And the same with down here. There we go. So I want to have these guys hug. And I actually, you know what I should do?
What should you do?
You smart ass.
Smart ass. I love Duncan.
I'm gonna have him squeeze.
Squeeze.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that.
Just gotta squeeze the life out.
Let me see something here. Let me turn that on. I'll do that later. Well, no, I'm going to do it now. I want to do that now. So I'm going to push, I think I'm going to leave this one, rather than squeeze into it, I'm going to do a more extreme drawing.
What animation principle do you consider the most important?
There isn't one. I don't think there is a most important animation principle. Knock that way back. He comes around, and this one I gotta work on this a little bit. This is this is the payoff for the whole thing, and I want this to be.
You've got to figure it out.
I want a lot of squash. So I want it to push in. See that squash right there? That's the kind of thing I want. See there? Squash. I want to feel that he's really squeezing him. Yes, on the squeeze from Nick. That'll make it a real bear hug. Absolutely.
If I won a scholarship, would I have to use it for art school, or would it be viable for, say, a film school?
It's any kind of arts, like what we do. To be honest, Nick and I haven't really discussed that. We'll have to discuss that. It's always been my intention that it's art school.
I don't know if I got around to asking Aaron, but does he suggest an animation software for the iPad Pro X?
Well, iPad Pro X. I don't know what that is.
I think it's the iPad. I think it's a more advanced version of the iPad Pro. But
No, I don't know. Other than
I mean, Procreate is a
yeah,
good one.
Procreate. Other than what's already out there. The other thing too, it's going to bury.
Dustin, can you do the voice of Hiccup, the main character of How to Train Your Dragon? I've never tried Hiccup, but one of my favorites of that movie is probably Stoic, but also his the blacksmith guy. What's his name? Like, when we break down those walls, all hell's gonna break loose. So am my underwear. Good thing I brought extras.
See, this is where I'm going to struggle a little bit. I want to see how I can get that. I got to bring that elbow around. So he's pulling more. It's got to bury into that fur. Yeah, there we go.
What do you love about the
YouTube comment. You heard it first, folks. Aaron Blaise is showing us how to wipe and squeeze.
wipe and squeeze?
Hey, we did get I'm getting a new bathroom put in, and we got a nice little bidet toilet. Been inspired by my Japanese experiences. When you use my bathroom, you're going to come out fresh.
Oh, Goldberg. It's not Gobbler, I think it's Goldberg. I love when in How Train Your Dragon 2, when Stoic finds his wife, but before that, Goldberg's like, "Oh boy, you better take this one." Remember that?
Yeah. So I think I can get away with just basically having him the same position from the waist down.
What do you love most about the animation process?
Bringing stuff to life. You know, really getting people to feel like these are living, breathing characters. Now remember, I'm going to have the black or the grizzly bear is going to be. There we go. It's going to be squeezing as well. I think that's going to be enough. There, squeeze, squeeze. Now let's just throw an in-between in there and just see how it feels. Any tips on knowing when to end a project and move on? That's a very broad question. Well, it depends on the project you're talking about. If you're talking about animation, you should have your ending before you start animating.
How did you enjoy your travels in Africa, and which countries in Africa did you visit?
I didn't quite finish answering the other one.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. I was just
You were
thinking.
in one of your long pauses.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Uh,
But if you're talking about like just art in general, it's really hard to know when you're done a lot of times. For me, I just get sick of a project really fast, and I want to move on. But yeah, it's just sometimes you just got to just for your sanity's sake, you just got to just get out of there and just move on to the next thing. As far as my Africa trip goes, I loved my Africa trip, and Nick and I we went to. I've been to Kenya and Tanzania. On the last trip, we went to Kenya, the Masai Mara.
Masai Mara is where again?
In Kenya.
In Kenya. Gotcha. And that's where you think that I should go to.
Yes. And that's where we're going again.
Oh, you and Nick?
Oh yeah, we're all going to go there at some point.
That would be awesome. Are there rules in storytelling that Disney follows?
I wouldn't say rules, but there's definitely, I guess you could call it rules. I mean, there's just rules that you follow, just like there's rules that you follow in art. You know, as far as what makes good composition, what makes good lighting, what, you know, a lot of different things. And so, and the same goes for good writing. And so there's certain things that you do in good writing. And so if you want to call them rules or templates or whatever, yes. There's no, I wouldn't call them formulas. A lot of people think we follow a formula, and it's not really following a formula as much as it's following just kind of the rules of good writing. All right, so let's.
Would you give some advice for people who want to animate?
Get in there and animate. I mean, that's
do it.
The best advice I can give you. 6, 8, 12.
Do you travel a lot as an animator?
As an animator, not necessarily.
As an artist?
As an artist, yeah. I mean, as a teacher, I do. Let's see how that plays. You want to get that nice. Oh, I want him to hold on that a little longer. 24. Let's give that 24. We want that hold on that hug to really be felt. Come up. Boom. There you go. We definitely need the breakdowns for them coming apart in order to really feel the entire action, but we're getting there. Boom. Yeah, that hug feels pretty good now. Right? Boom. Squeeze. Ah, there you go.
How valuable is animation skills for being a story artist?
Understanding stretch, squash, timing, the way to pose characters, all of that really helps for being a story artist, because your drawings, especially when they're cut together in film, do play sequentially. And if you understand the basics of that, then they'll play a lot more pleasingly, and it won't take you out of the experience. So understanding animation, at least the fundamentals, for a story artist is really helpful. There we go. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to get to that last little bit. Just going to throw maybe 1 or 2 in-betweens, breakdowns, to get into that last pose. And then I'll have everything blocked out for the polar bear. And then I just got to spend the rest of the week getting everything blocked out for the grizzly bear. And then once I've got all that done, And it's just in between. And then we'll have a nice smooth transition. There has been a critical error on your website. Uh-oh. I lost Nick.
Uh-oh.
Nick's down.
Birch.
Nick's down. Let me get rid of that. Let me add that. Let me see if I can bring him back. Deep Thoughts of Nick Birch.
Deep thoughts with Nick Birch.
There we are. He's back. Okay, so let's jump back in here. So you can see the way that I approach my animation. I just want to, for those of you that have just come in, I want you to see if I play this at speed. If I turn this off, turn this up. This is what I start with. So you can see it's all just blocked, very roughly timed. But there's our animation. That's the basic gist of what I want to do. From there, I take those poses and I start breaking them down till I have this. Knock this back a little bit, and I do one bear at a time. And here's the blocking, getting my key poses in, my breakdowns, so that brings the next phase, the next life to it. I'll do it with both. I'll end up doing it with both characters, and then the last phase is just to go in, get everything in between, to get that animation nice and smooth, and then I got to paint it. But that's how, if you take those steps, those nice logical steps, and you've got control of the whole thing. That first step, blocking it all out, that's basically my thumbnail pass. That's mapping out the action, what's going to happen, and then I just have to break it down little bits at a time. And that's what we're doing here. So let's jump ahead again to right about here.
Yeah, question.
Yeah.
Any advice on rhythmic timing, such as dance sequence or fight scene?
Yeah, the biggest thing is if it's rhythmic timing, you want to get that beat. You got to find out what the tempo is. And so the way you do that is you've got to count those number of frames out and make sure you stay within multiples of that framing in order to get the rhythm to match the music of whatever it is you're doing.
How did Nick learn to be always right?
Oh, that's just Nick, one of Nick's qualities.
But you never had carpal tunnel?
Never have.
Lucky. I haven't either. My proportions slowly distort over the course of my animations. Do you have any tips on how to prevent that?
Yes, always get in the habit of comparing back to your original drawing. Just keep comparing back to your original drawing.
Who's more right, Nick or you?
Nick. Definitely Nick. You're going to have him take an extra little step back.
What type of animal do you think you'd be in a parallel universe?
I want to be an eagle. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea.
Fly like...
No, I want to fly like a beagle. Let my doghouse carry me.
Fly like a beagle. Woof woof.
Let my doghouse carry me.
The program being
The heck
currently
did I
used is
just do?
TVPaint.
What's that?
The program you're using is TVPaint.
Yes, it
The
is.
software.
Yes, it is.
Yep, I.
Are we back? Dustin, are we back?
It's been going.
Dustin, are we back?
Can I explain? Yeah, it's been fluctuating up and down throughout, but it just got worse now. I think it's just deteriorating as we go along.
So can anyone hear us right now?
Well, I'm sure somebody can right now. That's why I'm not.
Hey Nick, let me know if you can hear us.
Oh. Oh. I think Nick just tried to call. Alright, looks like we are back up. Yeah, it was just having it's having a bit of a hiccup.
Alright. That's alright.
Yep.
Nick says we went down for a minute, we're back up now. Okay, good. Sorry about that, folks. Can't control the internet.
Because we're both still on the Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah. I haven't Etherneted, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, you don't have it plugged into Ethernet?
No. So here he is coming back from the hug. Crud. There we go.
There we go, mate.
There we go, mate.
Dang it, Dustin, you have one job. I'm trying.
Question. In animation, in anime, Japanese animation, I have heard that it takes an average of 40 minutes to draw a single frame. Is this true for Western animation as well?
No, and I don't think it takes 40 minutes to draw a single frame. I doubt that. Maybe in cleanup animation, but no, not for a rough animation. Maybe they keep their drawings really clean. Maybe that's how they do it. But you can see how long it takes me. I mean, I'm average. I'm so average.
So average. Yeah, but also the especially like older like around the 80s or 90s animes, they were extremely detailed, like lots of lines and everything in the character designs.
Yeah.
So it is possible, but it just depends on how much detail or how many frames they're planning on doing.
We're getting there. We need to do a couple more in-betwixes.
And the tablet that he's currently using is the Wacom Cintiq 32-inch Pro.
It's the
It's the It's the
Nick says I have to disagree. You are right pretty often. I mean, not in this specific issue, but case, but still.
Still though.
So here I'm just bringing that foot back. Pocahontas in the kitchen or in the dining room painting it. She's in painting mode.
Do you animate to a score or find the music after you've done your animation?
It depends on if the animation is dependent upon being rhythmic or not. if you need the animation to follow the rhythm, then you have to have that score done ahead of time, that music done ahead of time. Otherwise, we just add it later.
If a brown bear marries a polar bear, will they have panda cubs?
Maybe.
Legends say that Aaron was wrong once.
No, there's no way.
No, just that legend alone is wrong.
Or at least he just never admitted it.
Never admitted. I got you a few times with a few bird species. I remember. Like
that was
like-
pretty good. You nailed me on that.
Like there were like one or two different birds where I was like, what's this bird? And you were like, I don't know. I was like, you don't know? What?
That really annoyed me.
I had to look it up myself.
Yeah, it's those pesky songbirds get me every time.
I like the gnat catchers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because I think that was one of them. That wasn't it?
Yeah. So I want to remind you guys, for those of you that have just come in, we've got our big 4th of July sale still happening. And so if you go to our website, and when you check out with whatever you buy, type in the code July 4, July 4, and you will get, let me open that eye right there, there we go, an extra 25% off. 1/4.
And does the promo work along with annual memberships?
No,
Or
you're
for?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure it does. Yes, I was gonna say if you're an annual member, you don't pay for anything. You get it all for free. Well, for the price of membership.
What frames per second do you usually use?
24.
24.
24 frames per second.
Can Vedanta show us her work?
Yeah, she can do that. Not right now, because she's. Oh, when I say she's painting, I mean she's painting the walls.
I'm painting the dining room.
She's painting. She's painting the dining room.
I'm painting the dining room.
But yeah, she can show you her work. We should do that one of these streams.
See?
Oh, that is it? Are you painting it now?
Painting it now.
That's
This
the color.
is the color.
It's
I
gonna
know
be
it's crazy. Crazy.
Crazy.
crazy, crazy for feeling. I can't. Let's see. I wonder if he should just slide that foot back. Let me see how that feels. He comes forward. Yeah, I could just take a little hop step back. See the last foot to come back?
Uh-huh.
Right there.
Hey, what's your opinion on opinions?
I've got no opinion on that.
They
All right,
got-
one more drawing and then we're done.
They got no opinions on making opinions?
Ed Zachary. All right.
Hey, Aaron and Dustin.
Hey.
When will we get a live stream where Vedanta is drawing and Austin handles questions?
Ooh. That'd be an interesting one. Put them in the hot seat.
In case of two characters animated by two animators, how this interaction works? Both animators work together in the same scene?
Yes, we work together in the same scene. At least this is how we did it. I think in 3D, a lot of times the animator does all the characters now. But the way we did it back in the 2D days is that we would stay with our own characters, and the dominant character in the shot would. There we go. That looks like it's getting thin because the other arm on the grizzly bear is coming up in that part right there. So the dominant character would go first. It would animate first. And then we kind of block out where the other character is meant to be. And then from there, the next animator would take over and finish it off. And sometimes you got to go back and forth just because of the exchange of choreography. But more often than not, we could just get away with the first animator going first and then the next animator following up.
Did you say the lighting course was $1? On the website, it looks like it's $42.
I may have been wrong. It may have gone up. I know it was $1 at one time.
You wrong?
So you gotta keep up with it.
How do you animate without reference?
Well, you become a student of the world. I've been animating a long time. A long time. Long time ago.
Will you make a course
I can
on how to
still
become
remember.
rich?
You know what? You don't need money to be rich. I mean, look at me. I got my son. I got my health. Relative health.
Relative.
Got my
It'll
daughter,
work.
got my family, got Vedanta. And I feel rich. Got Nick. Come on, I got Nick.
Does a director decide which animator will animate which character?
Yes. Yes, he does. She does. He or she. All right, let me try. Whoops. Let me make sure this is right. And let's play it again, Sham. I think I've got all the polar bear blocked out.
Play it again, Shammy.
The only thing missing is the very end where they look back. I might end it on this. Boom, hug. Then they come apart. Let me look at the mechanics of the feet. Feet look good. Step back, step forward, step back, step back. There we go. You got to make sure you got all your mechanics. You got the nice swipe, squeeze, come back. There we go. So let me turn. I just choked on my own spit. So let's play this back. Come in, come back, squeeze, and then they come back. Whoops, something's not right. Something's not right.
Something ain't just ain't right.
There we go. That's not right.
That's not right.
So there it is, folks. So there's one half of the blocking of getting this animation. Of
Nice.
spreading the love. Two bears hugging it out. The bear hug.
2 bears, 1 heart. Bless their little heart.
There.
Ain't that just the cutest thing you ever seen?
Once again, remember all the, as far as balance goes, you get your counterbalancing working. Small anticipations add up to big advances, for your animation. Adding those little anticipations, it's extra drawings, but when you get those in there, it adds weight, it adds physics, it adds believability to your animation and makes it seem more real because you've got a character that's actually reacting to having to move its weight around, especially a bear. And so that's why I have all these little anticipations, little things, the way he moves that really help, like him coming forward then back and then lifting that front leg so that that weight's already off balance. Little things like that will give your animation a lot more believability. Okay, so there's the animation. Hopefully by Friday I'll have this whole thing pretty much done and I'll be able to play it for you guys then. I'll have the grizzly bear done by then, and the polar bear has taken me literally just today and yesterday, so that went pretty quickly, and I don't anticipate the grizzly bear taking too much more time than that. And so anyway, I hope you guys had a great time. Oh, Nick just ordered an Ethernet cable and adapter, so I can just plug it in.
Ooh.
Plug it in, plug it in. The lighting course was never $1. Wrong again, Blaise. Oh, there you go, see? Oh, maybe it was the digital painting course was $1. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know. Wrong again, Blaise. But if it was never $1, that means at some point it will be.
It will be eventually.
We'll make it $1 at some point. Who knows? But
It's going
anyway, there's my
eventually.
bear hug. Spreading the love. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back again on Friday. We'll be announcing the winner.
Swimmer.
We'll be announcing the winner for the Wacom 1 and doing another drawing for the Wacom 1 on our next, I think it's going to be on Twitch, on our next platform.
Which is next week.
Next week, on Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, we're going to do it on Friday. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. And remember, our sale is still going on over at creatureartteacher.com. When you check out, use promo code July4, that's JULY number 4, and you will get a 25% discount on your purchase, on everything in your cart. So that's going to be really cool. Other than that, Dustin is here, Nick is here. We're going to be here all week. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week until Friday. And stay safe. Put some beauty back into the world. Put your shopping cart away. And I will talk to you on Friday. Dustin?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed this stream. And if any newcomers here are interested in any wildlife photography, you can check out my Instagram at Dustin_Blaise. And I've been kind of falling behind in the past few days of putting new photos out there, but I do usually do a new one a day, so you can go over there, check that out. And I also have wildlife reference packs on creatureartteacher.com as well that are part of the 4th of July sale. So be sure to keep an eye out for those on the website. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys Friday. And until then, Cowboy Bebop. See ya.